Hello, and welcome to the Scrum with Lucid from DK. As usual, press if you want to use the hand raise feature to ask your questions. Alternatively, you can use the chat function to ask your questions as well. So, without any further ado, the first question in the chat from Trang. This is the end of your first Worlds journey. How do you feel about this, and in what aspects do you think your team could do better?
일단 루시드 선수 월드 여정이 끝나게 되었는데요. 지금 기분은 어떠하고 어떤 부분에서 좀 더 잘할 수 있었다고 생각하시나요?
일단 상실감이 되게 큰 것 같고, 배운 거는 이제, 많은 것들을 배운 것 같은데, 많은 것들을 배운 것 같습니다. 그래서 떨어져서 너무 아쉽고, 다음에 더 잘해야겠다라는 생각을 가지고 있습니다.
I feel like right now the biggest feeling is that a feeling of the loss. And I feel like there was a lot of takeaways. I feel like from this world's experience, I have learned a lot. And because of that, I feel like there's even more left to be desired because we are eliminated now. So right now, I'm only thinking, we must do better next time.
Thank you. Moving on to the next question from Davide. Hey, Lucid, sorry for the loss today. In game three, you picked Yone in the early rotation. Were you considering to flex the pick to the top lane, and what was the defining element that brought you guys to choose Gragas instead?
오늘 아쉽게 패배했는데요. 오늘 3세트 때, 벤픽 초반에 요네를 픽하셨어요. 이 픽이 약간 탑으로 돌릴 픽이었는지 아니면, 어, 어떤 이유로 약간 그라가스를 마지막으로 선택하게 된 게 있었을까요?
일단 요네를 돌릴 생각은 딱히 없었고, 그리고 그라가스를 나를 보고 뽑았는데, 그 이유가 이제, 잉겐 선수가 변수도 그라가스를 되게 잘 만드는 편이고 되게 잘한다고 생각을 해서 했던 픽이었습니다.
Yeah, we had no intention of flexing the Yoni pick. I think we ended up going with the Gragas pick after seeing the Nar. And we believe that Kingen is really good at Gragas and he's very good at making variables with Gragas as well. So that was the element that we went with.
今天今天对手第二局和第三局分别用了火男、莫甘娜打野，你是否没有预想到这个选择呢? 오늘 2, 3세트는 상대는 브랜드 그리고 모르간나 정글을 선택하셨는데요. 혹시 예측하셨는지 궁금합니다.
일단 타잔 선수가 EP 정글을 되게 좋아하는 거는 알고 있었고, 그리고 나와도 저희가 이길 수 있는 조합이었던 것 같은데 잘 하지 못해서 졌던 것 같습니다.
首先，我们有提前的意识到这可能会是他的选手喜欢的一个打野的选择，但是我们也是觉得，即使他们拿到这样的大英雄，我们的阵容也是不错的，但是源于我们自身的实力不足，所以输掉了比赛。
Okay, we'll go through the hand raise. So we'll go to Lucia now.
Hello, Lucid. I'm Lucy Weird, a content creator from Peru. Unfortunately, the case now out of Worlds. What are your thoughts about this last series versus Weibo, and which team do you think will be able to win Worlds this year?
안타깝게도 디플러스 기아가 탈락되었는데요. 일단 마지막 경기에 대한 전반적인 생각과 혹시 이번 월드는 누가 우승할 것 같으신가요?
이번 월제에 대한 생각이요?
마지막 경기에 대한 생각, 그리고 누가
아,
우승할 것 같은지.
마지막 경기 때는 그래도 뭔가 상대팀도 실수가 많이 나고 저희 팀도 실수가 많이 나와서 결국 그래도 실수 덜한 팀이 이기겠다라고 생각을 했던 것 같고, 월제 우승할 팀은 그냥 저는 HK가 우승하는 게 정말이라고 생각하고 있습니다.
So thoughts about the last series is that, both teams actually made a lot of mistakes, including us and the opponents. And I thought that whichever team makes the less and fewer mistakes would win. And I believe that, I guess I do believe that an LCK team will win Worlds this year.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
Okay, we'll stay with the hand raise feature. So Pedro, your question, please.
Thank you very much. Lucid, likewise, commiserations on the loss and subsequent elimination today. Want to ask you about just covering the team's overall showing in this competition. The team started off well in the Swiss Stage 2-0, defeating two of the Western teams. You guys were in a position to move on to playoffs. Obviously, that didn't happen, losing three straight to the LPO squads. For you, from your point of view, Lucid, what do you think kind of went wrong for the team from going up 2-0 up until the very end, and why?
일단 고생 많으셨고요. 디플러스 키아가 일단 서부팀 상대로 두 번 승리를 하고 나서 아쉽게도 8강까지 올라가진 않았지만 일단 루시드 선수 개인적인 생각으로는 2대 0으로 시작했다가 어떤 부분에서 좀 잘못되었다고 생각하시나요?
일단 2대 0을 되게 기분 좋게 시작을 했어요. 그래가지고 그 안에 준비할 것도 되게 많았고, 그리고 자신감도 어느 정도 차 있었던 것 같은데, 어, 뭔가 전체적으로 아쉬웠, 전체적으로 뭔가 다 아쉬웠던 것 같고, 그리고 저의 실력도 많이 아쉬웠던 것 같아요. 그래서 그런 부분이 이어지다가 그걸 고쳤어야 됐는데, 마지막 경기까지 결국 못 고친 것 같아서 정말 아쉬운 것 같습니다.
Yeah, we had a really good start with the 2-0. We were very high in confidence, and there were a lot of things to prepare for. And I feel like if I just look back, everything all around was a little lacking, and I feel like my own skills was a little disappointing as well. So it's just something that had continued, and that's something that we had to fix until the very last series, until today. But it leaves a lot to be desired that we weren't able to even fix that in the end. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that went wrong.
Okay, thank you. Next question, back to the chat now. What do you think the team's main mistakes were in this series?
이제 마지막 경기에 대한 질문인데요. 마지막 경기에서 팀의 주요 실수가 무엇이었다고 생각하시나요?
일단 기본적으로 실수가 일단 되게 많았고, 두 번째 판에서도 이제 유충 싸움도 그렇고 용도 그냥 나가고 전반적으로 좀 안 좋게 흘러갔고, 3세트도 이제 유충 싸움에서도 많이 안 좋았던 것 같고, 라인 수업 과정에서도 실수도 나서 그런 부분들이 터져서 되게 안 좋게 흘러간 것 같습니다.
So basically, I think we had a lot of mistakes for game two, especially. We had a lot of mistakes in the void fight and also just giving away drakes. And I think that just ended up flowing in a really negative way. In game three, again, we had very bad fight at the voids. And also we had some mistakes regarding the lane swap. And I think that's what really snowballed in the wrong way.
请总结一下这次世界赛队伍和自己的表现吧. 이번 월드의 팀과 자신의 퍼포먼스를 어떻게 평가하시나요?
저희 팀 퍼포먼스요. 일단 결국 LPL 세 팀한테 진 거니까 다 퍼포먼스는 별로 안 좋았다고 말할 수밖에 없는 것 같고, 그리고 제 개인적으로도 되게 많이 안 좋았다고 생각합니다. 퍼포먼스가.
因为我们都是输给了 LPL 的队伍嘛，所以不光是队伍，还是我自己觉得表现都是不够好的。
Okay, moving on to the next question now. Both the LCK and the World Cup have broadcast in Spanish, which has led to LATAM better understanding the game. What aspects of the gameplay is emerging regions stands out based on what you have seen? So I think the question is basically what aspects of the gameplay in emerging regions stands out best on what you've seen during Worlds?
이제 LCK와 e스포츠 월드컵 같은 경우에는 스페인어로도 방송이 되었었는데요. 그래서 이제 라틴 아메리카 지역에서도 좀 더 이해를 잘 할 수 있게 그런 계기가 되었던 것 같아요. 그래서 일단 월즈에서 경험을 토대로 다른 지역, 각 지역의 약간 특이점이라든지 아니면 특징 같은 거를 어떻게 표현할 수 있을까요?
다른 지역의 특이점이요?
네, 각 지역마다 혹시 뭐
네.
네, 좀 이런 부분이 뭐 인상 깊었다 하는 게 있다면 알려주세요.
나라마다요?
네네.
나라마다 인상. 그냥 간단하게 이제 나라마다 이미지를 생각을 하면은 북미는 뭔가 되게 여유 있고 되게 근데 뭘 말해야 되는지 모르겠는데 어떡하죠?
아니면 뭐 LCK가 좀 LCK 지역만의 뭐 특이점이라도 말씀하셔도 될 것 같아요.
LCK 지역의 특이점은 일단 되게 팀도 되게 팀에 있는 선수들, 코치님들, 감독님들 다 열정적으로 연습하고 그리고 실력도 되게 높다고 생각합니다.
So I guess I can't really go over all different regions. I would say that, NA might be a little laid back, but what I can say about LCK is that a lot of the LCK teams, including the players and the coaching staff, they're all really passionately participate in practice, and I believe that they're all very, very skilled.
Okay, we'll move on to the last question now, and we'll take it over to Cloud.
So I have a question about your solo queue, your duo queue on EOS with Showmaker. Every time you start a game, you ask the chat, "Do you know Showmaker?" in all chat. Is that because you're not sure yourself who Showmaker is?
일단 그 루시드 선수가 유럽에서 듀오 큐를 허즈 선수랑 돌리고 있을 때 항상 하는 말이 채팅에다가 Do you know 쇼메이커라고 항상 그렇게 치셨다고 하는데 이게
네.
혹시 진짜로 궁금해서 혹시 유럽에서 쇼메이커 선수를 모르고 있나 해서 던진 질문인가요?
어, 일단 되게 쇼메이컨 선수가 되게 유명하잖아요. 그냥 전 세계적으로. 그래서 이제 장난치는 것도 있고 진짜로 왔는지 궁금해서 치는 것도 있는 것 같아요.
Yeah, as you know, Showmaker is very famous around the globe, just everywhere internationally. And so I think it's a part of me trying to just joke around and play around. But I'm also very curious, genuinely, if the people that we're playing with actually know him.
Okay, thank you. That concludes today's media scrum of Lucid. Thanks to the press for joining us, and thanks to Lucid for joining us.
감사합니다. 고생하셨어요.
감사합니다.
As usual, press, if you could use the hand raise function to ask your questions. Alternatively, please drop your questions into the chat function. So first up, we'll go to Fomos over in the chat.
이번 승리로 예전 그리핀 동료들이 8강에 다시 모였는데 가장 먼저 8강에 오르고 열심히 하라던 리엔즈에게 하고 싶은 이야기가 있다면?
리엔즈 선수한테요?
네.
어, 뭐 하고 싶은 뭐 리엔즈 선수한테 딱히 하고 싶은 말은 없고요. 그냥 뭐 다 같이 시간 되면은 사진 한번 찍자고 하고 싶은데.
Okay, next up we'll go to Trang. Picked Morgana, an off-meta choice to counter DK's Wombo combo pod. You have had such a good performance with her. What made you confident in this pick, and how do you think it impacted the flow of the game?
那想问一下他赞选手的是，今天也是选出了莫甘娜打野这个英雄，可能在这个版本不是那么强势的一个选择，然后来 counter 对面的一个组合。所以说，但同时你也是拿到莫甘娜有着非常非常好的一个表现。所以说，想问一下是什么呢？给了你足够的自信，能够在这里选下这个英雄？同时，你觉得他怎么样能够影响这局游戏呢？
现在版本的话，感觉是什么英雄都会选出来的，然后莫尔甘娜打野的话也是算能 counter 对面的阵容吧，然后一边可以 counter 对面的打野英雄位会选出来了。
I feels like maybe for the current meta, like all the champions can be appeared on stage for now, and I feels like Morgana can be a good counter pick to the opponent's stronger way. So that's why we just made this pick. 下一个问题来自潘塔 Q， 恭喜他的选手赢下今天的比赛。想要问一下，第一局最后大龙坑那里是怎么决策的？怎么一个人打大龙，发现队友都撤了？
第一局吧？
第一局。
第一局吗？第一局那波的话，我是看到了对面有人 TP 上路的线上，所以我们也位置也不知道，所以我们有一点没有决定了吧，有一点所以我们第一把输了的原因也就是我们没做好的地方有点多，所以输了。
Okay, any other questions for Tarzan? Oh, one from Davide here. Hey Tarzan, congratulations on the victory. Once again, you made it to the top 8 at Worlds. Which team would you like to face next?
恭喜他的选手获得今天比赛的胜利，再次你又进入到了8强的争夺当中。想要问一下，在接下来的赛程当中，有没有哪支队伍想要遇到呢？
没有想要的队友吧。现在目前的话，就先我们准备好我们自己的东西，然后就抽到对面的队友之后，就我们研究一下对面的队友，然后打好我们自己的就行。
So maybe for now we have no like specific team we'd like to face against of. What we need to do is they make well preparation for ourselves, and after the draw show we can have a good study for the opponents and try our best to have a good performance on stage. 下一个问题来自大电竞，想请问一下，第一局结束之后，丹尼教练跟大家说了些什么呢？
就是我们第一把输了的，就是他跟我们说的是，就最大的判断就是我们是希望害对面的人吧，所以我们其实已经 AD 装备是很好，但是我们没有用到这个点，所以就复盘了这个点吧。
And next question in the chat from Fomos again.
초비 리엔즈의 젠지, 도란 딜라이트요. 하나생명 중 만약 결승에서 한 팀을 만난다면 만나고 싶은 팀은 그리고 이상적인 선택과 감성적인 선택 모두 궁금하실 테는 해요.
결승전에서요?
네네, 결승에서.
비슷한 것 같아요. 왜냐면 둘 다 잘하는 팀이기 때문에, 그리고 동료도 이제 똑같이 두 명 있기 때문에 누가 되던 간에 좀 재밌는 경기, 좋은 경기 하고 싶은 거밖에 없는 것 같아요.
Okay, next question over to Pedro Romero.
Hey Tarzan, likewise, congrats on the victory today. Gotta ask you about just sort of your journey from the time you joined Weibo up until now. Obviously joined back in the middle of the summer. And so, to go from that point to here in which you're now part of the top 8 teams as you did last year with LNG, want to ask you about how you look back on the journey and just trying to familiarize yourself with the rest of your teammates, and how has that process gone? And also, what kind of enabled the team to reach to this point so far? And what do you think just can allow this team to continue the journey into the future of this competition?
首先，恭喜你们获得这场比赛的胜利。也想回顾一下他赞选手加入到微博整个的一个旅程，因为其实你是从夏季的中间，然后加入到微博嘛，然后一直走到现在，也进入到了8强。所以说，你们去年你也是和 LNG 进入8强的，今年又一次进入8强。想问一下，可能回顾一下，你会有什么样的一些想法？同时，你觉得在整个的过程当中，你们付出了哪些努力，让你们能够走到现在？同时，你又觉得哪些这些努力能够让你们这个队伍继续在这个世界赛上发光发热呢？
就我刚进入微博的时候，其实我们一开始也其实很多地方也没做好，然后我们成绩也不是很好，但是我们慢慢配合上我们 调整好，然后我们磨合一下我们的配合上，然后跟教练有想法，我们要聊很多，然后我们就很努力了吧，就整个一个夏季赛，然后走到8场之后，其实不，我希望的是大家别有太大的压力吧，就放松打，然后就开心着玩。
So, once I joined in WBG, we feels like from the very beginning, there's so many parts we didn't manage to do so good. We have a very slow start, and our result was not that good. But after that, we really put 100% of effort into making all the adaptations and working on our synergies to try our best. And also, we really have a very good communication with all the teammates. We share so many different like plans, ideas we have, and all of us just put 100% of effort into this. And luckily, in the summer split, we have a rather good result. And coming up here, qualified into the quarterfinals, what I'd like to say is hopefully, like all the members from WBG, we don't have like too much pressure on our shoulder. Try to be relaxed and try to enjoy the game on stage.
Okay, final question now to esports focus.
不管是在 LPL 还是世界赛，队伍一到绝境，感觉你们总是能发挥出更好的一个状态。想问一下，你觉得原因会是什么？
就应该不知道，就说原因的话，就大家都后面没有机会嘛，所以我们就开始发力了吧，就应该是这样。
Okay. That concludes today's media scrum with Tarzan. Congratulations to Tarzan on making the quarterfinals, and thank you, media, for joining us.